This is Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. And it is official. The Eagles getting some big-time news from the National Football League going into NFL free agency with the new league year getting underway on March 10th. We're already under a month away from free agency, and the NFL Combine is next week. Can't sleep when you're a champion. And speaking of the NFL Combine, hit that subscribe button. Keep an eye out for our content because I'm going to the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. I'll be there from Monday through Saturday. Interviews with Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni. We'll try to catch up with other content creators and people who cover the birds. We'll talk with some NFL draft prospects and do some draft content. So hit that sub button and join the 112,000 people who are subscribed to this channel. Want to begin with this. Here's the skinny. The NFL this week revealing a massive uptick and increase in the salary cap for 2025. The new league year beginning March 12th, not March 10th. Fake news, it's March 12th. So I got that wrong a little bit earlier. Don't mind me. And not only is the NFL salary cap going to rise this year, but it's going to continue to sizably go up in future years as well. And given the way that Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie run this football team, with the value that they put in investing in important positions, with their team building strategy, how they structure contracts, how aggressive they are, how they're always trying to keep and maintain their teams to be competitive, how they're always going all in to try to win a Super Bowl, this is huge, massive news. And the NFL informed teams this week that the salary cap in particular is going to go up to between $277.5 million and $281.5 million. That is an increase year over year of between $22.1 and $26.1 million. They're trying to figure out the final financials as far as how much specifically the salary cap is going to go up. And so the Eagles now, without any contract restructures, without any cuts, without any post-June 1 designations, without any potential trades, are in a decent spot. They have about $20 million in cap space. And so business for the NFL is straight up booming. This means that the NFL salary cap will increase by at least $53 million over the last 2 years alone. Insanity. I mean, the boatloads of cash that the NFL is raking in, wild. And it's because fans like all of us are glued to the sport, and the popularity has never been higher. Eagles-Chiefs was a blowout in Super Bowl 59. 130 million people watched. It was the highest rated Super Bowl in the history of the NFL. And you look at some of the specifics here, this is how the NFL salary cap has gone up year over year, year by year since 2011. As recent as 2011, wasn't that long ago. Chip may have been 9 years old, but it wasn't that long ago, right? $120.375 million. It goes up a little bit by less than $300,000 the following year. Then it goes up $2.5 million in 2013. But here you really start to see the growth of the NFL and the financial implications of its popularity taking off. Because from 2013 to 2014, $10 million increase. To 2015, another $10 million increase. The following year goes up by about $12 million. $12 million again from 2016 to 2017. $10 million from 2017 to 2018. About $11 million 2018 to 2019. It goes up by 10 again to 2020. It did go down after 2020 because of the COVID season from 198.2 to 182.5 because the revenue is down. Fans couldn't attend games, and that's so much money at stake right there. But then 2021 to 2022, up from 182.5 to 208.2. A huge leap from 2022 to 2023, 208.2 to 224.8. It goes up $31 million nearly from 2023 to 2024, And here we are from 2024 to 2025, up from 255.4 to between 277.5 and 281.5. And what it means is when the salary cap goes up, that is the total team spending for every team. And so the Eagles can continue to invest, hand out contracts. Of course, that does mean that player contracts are going to be more expensive, but Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie are just licking their chops right now because this will allow them to continue to be a sustainable winner. And there's some good news on the horizon that we're about to talk about here on the show, because the television deal for the NFL is going to be so lucrative coming up in 2028, 2029, where the salary cap could surpass, realistically, $300 million. And so this could impact what the Eagles do this offseason because you can backload some of these contracts. And for this year, the Eagles have more financial flexibility. Here's a look at the Eagles 2025 free agents. A lot of these players are going to try to retain. Some players will still be too expensive, like a Josh Sweat or a Milton Williams. Mekhi Becton, Fred Johnson, Kenny Gainwell, Ben Van Sumeren, Britton Covey, Ian Book. We flip the page to Paris Campbell, CJ Uzama, LaRaven Clark, Jack Driscoll, Nick Gates, who they did release officially earlier this week, but still technically a free agent. Zach Bond, I think, is priority number one for Philadelphia. You have Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, two players who are going to cash in. Oren Burks, who I'd like to see come back because of the uncertain future of Nakobe Dean with that injury, and he played so well as a rotational backer and special teams player. Isaiah Rodgers is a corner who I wouldn't mind coming back, especially if the Eagles move on from Darius Slay. Will Brandon Graham come back for a 16th season, or will he ride out into the sunset with the second Lombardi Trophy? And then there's Avonte Maddox and Rick Lovato. So a lot of free agents here for the Birds going into the 2025 offseason. And again, the salary cap has gone up so much from 2011 as we documented. But those increases in money, I think, are only going to continue because Brett Kollman, one of the OG content creators on YouTube talking about the NFL, put out a fascinating tweet, and this was before the NFL sent a memo to all teams about the cap increase. And he detailed it by saying this. This is interesting stuff for those of you who want to nerd out with television ratings. The salary cap is going to explode again, and it's all because of this change in how Nielsen measures ratings. Starting this year, they are leaning into using data directly from smart TV manufacturers to measure viewing habits in addition to the traditional at-home panel method. This means NFL ratings in particular from Sunday Ticket on YouTube are going to be more accurately measured. And that number is going to be way bigger than you think because of just how many Gen Z and millennials consume football on streaming services. And that's a great point. I mean, a lot of you out there are millennials like myself or Gen Zers who are soft like Chip, and you're watching through streaming services. I'm kidding. More accurate ratings means that the league's next broadcasting rights negotiation in 2028, 2029 is going to be way more expensive, which ultimately means that massive jumps in the salary cap are going to happen. So Kollman said, if I'm a general manager, that means next year or maybe even this year, I can sign some truly outrageously backloaded deals with a ton of funny money that all slams home in 2030 and not even care about the math. All of that makes sense, and all of that is going to happen barring, let's hope it doesn't happen, knock on wood, some type of pandemic, which results in a season not being played or fans not being able to attend games. And let me be clear, I love our Gen Z viewers, including Chip. But for Howie Roseman right here, Howie's season is only going to continue for the best GM in football and a Hall of Fame general manager whenever he decides to call it quits. Be sure to give me a follow on X and Instagram at Chase_Senior. North of 15,000 followers on X, 36,000 followers on IG. In addition to all of the Eagles content that I put up here on YouTube, I put out a lot of Eagles coverage on my social media pages as well.